today we're quite used to them being about this big. But in the past, they were whoppers. I am, of course, talking about the changing size of our flying insects. Now, it's thought that flying insects have changed over time due to alterations in the composition of our atmosphere. In the Permian period, around 299 to 251 million years ago, that's when oxygen levels were at their highest, and it coincides with when we see some of the biggest insects in the fossil record. But why does oxygen levels being high mean that insects can get bigger? Well, in order to understand this, we need to look at how insects breathe. Unlike us, insects do not have lungs. Instead, they have small holes in their exoskeleton called spiracles. Air enters through the spiracles and down tubes to tracheals, which are cells at the end of the tubes. And oxygen in these tracheals diffuse into the surrounding cells. So higher levels of oxygen mean that more oxygen can reach more cells and insects can get bigger. So if you are looking for that little extra boost, then maybe look towards oxygen. However, there is a little twist in our tale. In the Cretaceous period, which was about 245.5 million years ago, this is when oxygen levels reached their lowest, and then they slowly began to rise and stabilise. Yet our insects have continued to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So what's going on? Well, a piece of research that came out this year thinks that there's another contributing factor that came in here. If we look at the fossil record again, at this period of time, we start to see our earliest bird species, like the Archaeopteryx. So the theory goes that as birds came in, insects were forced to get smaller and smaller and smaller to remain more agile to avoid predation. The moral of our story, which I'm sure many of you will be glad to hear, it's not just your size that counts, it's how you perform.